All right, Cossack Crazies, welcome in to another edition of the Salzy Show 2.0. This is episode 2 since the revamping, the rebranding, if you will. So we got some fun things to talk about. It's a Saturday afternoon. I came back here to the softball field because of just celebration of Sioux Valley softball that is in, kind of a playoff push, I guess if you want to call it that. There's a few games left of the regular season. They are fresh off of a victory yesterday. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Track and field has got, I believe, the Lake Central Conference meet coming up. We'll get into that as well. I'll try to find that information for you. And then we'll get into what happened on kind of more of a national scale. SDSU softball had a tough day yesterday. We're going to talk a little bit about that. The Twins are on a tear. Finally, it took a month and a half, but they're finally playing baseball like we thought that they could play baseball. So we'll talk about that as well. The T-Wolves, man, they're in their winning ways. This would be the Western Conference semifinals. They've got Game 3 tonight. They get to go out to San Francisco and play the Golden State Warriors out there for 2 games. But tonight, Game 3, with Steph being hurt, with Ant nearly being hurt. Maybe he is still feeling some effects from that. But we'll talk about that as well. And just kind of go through some national things. Shohei Ohtani had himself a night last night. I'll get into a little bit about that. But I just want to start by saying this, that everything that we do on Saul's Media, like this little podcast that I have put together, all the activities, we are brought to you by the exclusive presenter, Bankstar Financial. They cover everything that we do. With locations in Volga, Brookings, and Elkton, Bankstar provides big-time business with a small-town feel. Looking to finance a home? Need a car loan? How's your retirement plan looking? Stop in today and chat with the local professionals. Bank on the bright side. Bankstar Financial, a proud sponsor of Sioux Valley Athletics and the Saul's Media broadcasts. I set it up where we have the scoreboard on this podcast, so we can put that on YouTube as well. It just allows those softball sponsors to just kind of keep rolling through that. We'll go through the rest of the sponsors that have paid for a lot of things through volleyball, through basketball, and through softball as well. We'll get through all of those as we get through the show here, but thank you, everyone who has sponsored this, who keeps following along, who keeps watching, who keeps just being a supporter, man. This is fantastic. This is a lot of fun. I'm kind of bored on my weekend off. Brookings is a little bit crazy today because it's SDSU graduation at the same moment, so I just kind of wanted a quiet space that was not in my yard or in my house, and I thought since the last one went over so well about a week ago that I'd come back here to the friendly confines of Cotton Field and just have a little softball, ambiance in the background. I don't have any players today. That's fine. They had a big win yesterday. Now they've got a few days off. We'll talk about that as well. But, just want to keep Salzy Show 2.0 rolling and just staying relevant, just keeping information out there, keeping people watching, keeping sponsors, visible, I guess, or even audio listenable. That's not even words. I lost my train of thought right there, and that's the way that goes. For that Sioux Valley softball team, win number 6 in a row yesterday as they took on a very good Castlewood Warriors team. I believe they were ranked number 2 in Class B, and it was tight the whole way. And it was Sioux Valley that came through in the 5th inning. It was back-to-back walks by the Castlewood pitcher that put 2 girls on. It was Abby Axtell that got to third base, I believe, on a wild pitch somewhere like that. So it was first and third. And that's when Morgan Lemmy came up, hit a gapper double that rolled all the way to the fence. That scored 2. And then they were able to get that third run across on McKinley Schwab's double. So back-to-back doubles brought in the 3 runs, and it was McKinley Schwab that was on the mound and shut down the Warriors. As far as anything they were trying to do, the Warriors did get to third base 1, 2, 3 times in the game, but just were not able to get anything across because of the 13 strikeouts that McKinley Schwab put together. So every time they had a rally, it was McKinley Schwab that shut it down. Also some nice plays on the outfield. We're talking about fly balls out to right. J.C. Olson had a great catch out there in the 6th inning. It was Ella Jacobson with a nice catch in the 3rd inning. that stopped a couple of rallies out there. So great job all around by the Sioux Valley Cossacks softball squad as they get win number 6 in a row, moving their record to 11-5 on the season now. The only part, and maybe they'll be okay with this, but I'm not. I'm going to be bored now for 10 days. Their next game is not till the 19th. 10 days away, 9 days away, I guess, from here. But it's a couple of schools out there that did not want to reschedule off of postponements from, some April bad weather. And it's 2 schools that just couldn't find a way to do it or chose not to do it, one way or the other. But the Sioux Valley Cossacks now have, 9 more days off before they get back competing. And that's when they'll welcome the Baltic Bulldogs, which is a reschedule from an April bad weather day. So on Monday, the 19th, that's when they'll get back on the field right out here. Another home game, which is fantastic. On the 19th, they'll be here. Baltic comes to town. And then Wednesday, the 21st, they'll go to Coleman and play a game in Coleman. That's the last road game of the regular season. I guess officially there is a conference tournament, so maybe it's not the last of the regular season. There's a conference tournament down in Beersford, and I believe that would be right after that Coleman road game, so that following weekend. So the 19th, the 21st, and I think the Saturday, the 24th, I want to say, down in Beersford for the conference tournament down there. And that ends the regular season. So maybe it is 2 more road games, but one of them is a conference tournament where they'll get a bunch of games in that day. Or at least that's the hope. They'll get a bunch of games in that day. So it should be a lot of fun for the Sioux Valley Cossacks as they keep rolling through the regular season. They're fun, they're energetic, and they're talented. So if you get a chance on the 19th, the last scheduled regular season home game, get on out here to Cotton Field. Great crowd here yesterday. It was a lot of fun. Dan Hughes and the concession stand peeps, they were grilling up burgers. They had brats, they had hot dogs, plus everything that was in the concession stand. It was a good time around here. So if you weren't able to be here, you missed out. So make your plans for the 19th. If you can't be here, you can always follow along on YouTube like this. Saul's Media will be there as well. Right at the top of the bleachers over there, I did have some close calls with some foul balls yesterday, as it was just pop-ups that went over the backstop. One was real close. The rest of them just kind of flew over my head, and there's a bunch of kids back there chasing down foul balls. But, just always in danger is all I ever am. Right now, there seems to be a sparrow that keeps climbing into this yellow tubing you see on the top of the fence here. So I think a sparrow has found a home somewhere in there, found a crack to get in there, and maybe there's a nest in there or something. But I was just setting up and there were wings flapping behind me. I didn't know what was going on. A week ago when I did this, it was a wasp that wanted to join the show. So I'm glad I'm not seeing that today. Wildlife, I guess that's the way it goes. I'm a huge bird nerd, so I've already been out today. From this spot right here, about 2 miles away, right on the river, there's a bald eagle nest out there, and there's a couple of babies up there, eaglets, if you will. So I'm checking those out on these off days from Bell Brands all the time, and then trying to get photos of whatever I can out there. So I was cruising around today. There's another, I won't get into my bird nerd stuff that's too much, but it's just funny that there's a sparrow that's trying to find a home right here. So Sioux Valley Cossacks 6-game win streak, I guess I should say, with the Flanders tournament that they swept. It's a doubleheader victory over the Siston Redmen just about a week ago, and then a great win yesterday over the Castlewood Warriors. That Warriors team is tough, so that was a great win yesterday. I was told that it was big for playoff points. That was a big playoff point day since Castlewood is as good as they are. Those Warriors, they won the inaugural Class B softball championship. That was 2 seasons ago. Last year, they were runner-up in that state tournament in Class B. So they're just as talented as what they have been the last 2 years. So that was a really good win yesterday for Sioux Valley. Very talented themselves. So, again, on the 19th, come on out here to Cotton Field and see the last home game. At least during the regular season, there's a chance that some sort of Sodex 16 thing would work out, and that would be here. But we'll see how that plays itself out down the road. Just a fantastic day yesterday. And the weather was gorgeous, so you missed out, really, if you couldn't be here. Some other sponsors we're going to thank before we talk about some track things, some SDSU things, some Twins, some T-Wolves. Other sponsors, Bell Brands, makers of the Mini Baby Bells, the snack cheese of champions. Thank you, Bell Brands, for being a sponsor of these shows. CC's Bar and Grill brings us the starting lineups with basically everything we've been doing through volleyball, through basketball, now through softball at the same time. Cade and friends, man, thank you for being a sponsor of all these things. I I think the Craddocks are basically on the road now for the summer, as Kaylee's part of a AAU team or a club team down in Sanford, Pentagon. And they do some traveling with that team. She's on a very talented basketball team. So I don't know if Cade and the family is around all that much on the weekends, but you can talk to him during the week and just enjoy some burgers, some chislics, some chicken. They also have the event space out there, too. There's a banquet room. If you need any event hosted, they've got room back there for them, so talk to the Craddock family about that. CC's a great sponsor of everything we do here on Salz Media. GP Auto, Grant Peterson and friends on the east side of Brookings out by Dektronics. They will get you back on the road. All your car repair needs, engine, oil changes, tire repair, tire replacement. Grant and Friends will take care of you. Another proud sponsor of everything we do here on Salz Media. They've been great to me. Grant's a good dude, and he was more than happy to be a part of this. Another one we can thank before we move on to some rabbit talk, Health Source Chiropractic. Justin and Luke, man, this happened through a reach out on social media during the volleyball season. So it started in volleyball. They were the the Health Source halftime sponsor of a lot of the stats we were talking about as we were in games. We had a lot of interviews through that. When we're out at the state tournament in Spearfish for the girls basketball team, we talked to the Augustana women's basketball coach because he happened to be sitting right next to us. It was fantastic. So every time we had fun in the halftime shows and through volleyball at the same time, but it was part of it. The Health Source Chiropractic sponsorship of the halftime show. So thank you, Justin and Luke, for being a part of these. Now you get to be a part of softball, and we'll get right back into football and volleyball in the fall. I guess we got to get through graduation next weekend at the same time, get through a summer, some baseball over there. I hope to be part of baseball too, but we'll see what happens with that. So that is our Sioux Valley softball talk. Now we will move to SDSU, and the SDSU softball team had a tough day yesterday. They got themselves into the winner's bracket. They had to advance in extra innings to do that. It was a win, I believe, over USD on Thursday that earned them the right. That kept them in the winner's bracket. So it was a tough matchup against the Omaha Mavericks. That was the one seed going into the tournament that SDSU was hosting because of what they did a season ago. And I believe it was extra innings against Omaha. They ended up losing in that affair. Omaha stays in the winner's bracket. They're probably playing right now against who took SDSU out in the second game yesterday. On our home field, we lose to the Mangy Coyotes yesterday in a double elimination loss, and that ends the season for SDSU softball. Sadly, you have to win out of the Summit League. You're not going to get an at-large coming out of the Summit League, not with as good of the talent of softball around the nation. You got to win the Summit League if you want to go. The women's basketball team is about the only one that's getting at-large as far as, the major sports goes. Maybe there's some track and field things, some wrestling things that happen, but I guess a football team can get in at large as good as they've been in the FCS tournament. But when you're talking about NCAA, the big boy type stuff that we're doing, especially in basketball, the men have to win the Summit League tournament. The women need to win that Summit League tournament. And SDSU was hosting and just had a tough day yesterday. They were competitive throughout, just couldn't get over the hump. It was a tough loss to Omaha in the semifinals, and then to get back into the championship, they had to try to take out the Coyotes. And the Coyotes took them in extra innings, I believe, as well. Let me open up that story, and we can get into that a little bit. Don't go away, story. Come on, that's the reason I opened you up the first time. Oh. Always. The internet fails me on a regular basis, and we need to fix that. So I had this story opened up for this purpose, to just get back into the tab and go to the story. I've been robbed. Tourney showing ends after extra inning losses. So yeah, it was extra innings on both affairs. Let me just read this opening statement, and then I'll get into how it happened. The Jackrabbits ended up on the wrong end of the score margin in a pair of affairs yesterday at Gerald Moriarty Field, right on the campus of SDSU. SDSU dropped an 8-6 decision in 9 innings to Omaha. That was in the winner's bracket. That was that semifinal matchup. And then saw the tournament appearance end with a 3-2 loss to the Coyotes in 8 innings. So that ends it for SDSU for a softball season. They were great. I believe they were 29-26, like 13-5, 13-6 in the conference schedule. They're fun. They're great. They just had a couple of tough games yesterday, and that ends the season for the SDSU Jackrabbits. So sadly, that does it for SDSU softball for the 2025 campaign. Tough day for them, really is. Baseball still going as far as SDSU goes. I haven't followed up on SDSU baseball very much. I probably should, but I have not. I'm going to open up one more thing here. There are plenty of Sioux Valley track photos on the Facebook. Sarah Rose does a great job. Lisa Milton does a great job. They put all their photos on Facebook, so you can see all of those right there. But I just want to try to get you into track and field. There is a tractor starting up over there. I believe we're going to be doing some dragging behind me, so there will be some action behind me. We'll probably get dusted out as well, which would be just fantastic. School records are being broken all season long with track and field. We talked about some of those in previous shows, especially the coaches show, which we'll do another one of those on Wednesday. But the latest one is the boys 4x400 relay. That record goes down. That record was set in 1984, and it was broken by Carson, Brock, Brady, and Mitch. The time of 3:24.95. That breaks a record from 1984. That's 41 years ago, sadly. I mean, I know I'm doing the math, but I'm older than that 1984 record, and that's why I'm depressed. That's what that sigh was right there. So it happens, I guess. You just keep getting older. I don't want to get into my age and scare the hell out of all of the student athletes that I'm hanging out with. I am just an old man, just trying to do a podcast, trying to make some money off the sponsorship that comes here, trying to do some fantastic things. Softball is going to get us to the finish line here at the 25 campaign. But a great school record in the 4x4. Congrats to Carson, Brock, Brady, and Mitch. Fantastic. Their last meet was right here. That was, I believe, Tuesday. Same time we had a game here against Siston. There was a track meet going on over there. I think... Let me get into this then, and we'll see where they're going. I believe they got the LCC meet here coming up shortly. Athletics. See, I should have a laptop, although my laptop did not want to do things quickly, so it wouldn't have done us any good here. But I need like 3 things, or maybe like 3 people just handing me information. I'm the only one. I am my producer. I am host, salesman, everything else that happens here. So track, Bursty, view. Just trying to bring up their schedule if I can. And let you know what track and field is doing. There is some action over at the batting cage over there. We got some youngsters getting some work in over there, so that's good. Oh, I don't need to know what Metallica is doing. Why did you go to Google? Ugh. And as soon as you go back, then it goes all the way out. So, try this again. Hang with me, everybody. Come on now. We're not all internet savvy. Track and field varsity view. Browser this time? Are you just going to open up? Please, just maybe open up. You're not going to do it, are you? So we can do it this way. I'm just going to look on the calendar then, since you were not helping me out at all. No, that's all the school stuff. Athletics. Let's do it that way. Let's just go into next week. So we'll do this. I'm just going off the athletic event schedule that Sioux Valley schools have. Nothing happened this weekend. So today off, tomorrow off. Monday, get back at it. The girls' golf team, varsity squad, is going to head down to Hartford. They'll be at Central Valley. That's a 9 a.m. start on Monday. Track and field, the middle school has their Big East Conference meet. That's in Baltic. That's on Monday afternoon at 2 o'clock. So that's a couple events out there. On Tuesday, middle school golf has their Big East Conference meet. That is at Chester. Starts up at 11 a.m. And there it is. That's what I thought it was. Tuesday, the 13th, varsity track and field. It's the Lake Central Conference meet. It is Lake Central, right? I'm getting that right? I thought so, yeah. LCC meet at Clark. That's where they're heading to Tuesday afternoon. That's a 2 o'clock start for the conference meet, track and field style. Thursday, then, girls golf. They'll head down to Madison, and it doesn't say. It just says Madison High School. I think that's at Madison Country Club, I'm pretty sure. So, don't go on there. It's. Pretty sure that's at Madison Country Club. That's 10 a.m. on Thursday. Also 10 a.m. middle school LCC meet. That'll be at Dual High School up in Clear Lake. And then track and field Thursday as well. So it is Tuesday, LCC varsity meet. That's in Clark. Thursday at noon in Flandreau, the varsity Big East Conference. So they're going to do both their conference meets Tuesday, Thursday. 2 o'clock on Tuesday, noon on Thursday. Just keep you up with what track and field is going to do. Friday is the last day of school. That's a canceled varsity doubleheader in softball as well. It was supposed to be Oldham, Ramona, Rutland, but they canceled it. Something going on with their side of things. And that takes us through next week. I believe a week from tomorrow is graduation. And I really wish I could be there. I'm running out of vacation time at the same time. With everything we did through the basketball season and everything we're doing through softball, I'm trying to save a little bit of time so we get into the fall and try to get to December without running out of vacation time too much. I mean, there's voluntary time I can take off as well, but that just means I don't get paid for those hours. It's voluntarily excused absence or unpaid absence. So I'm just trying to avoid that as much as I can. So I don't get to. I don't want to take vacation for graduation day. There is a party or two that I have been invited to, so hopefully I get to do those after work. But that's kind of the way it goes. So sorry, Cossacks, I don't get to be at the ceremony. But I'll talk about it next week. We've got a coach's show coming up on Wednesday. We'll talk about graduation on that one. So I gave the schedule, a rundown of everything going on athletically for next week. We'll talk more about that on Wednesday. Hopefully we have some results of the LCC meet when we do that coach's show. I talked to head coach Tatum Sonnenberg of the softball team. She was more than excited for a coach show on Wednesday, so that'll be a part of it. We'll get some athletes on there as well. Some other sponsors then as we transition. We'll talk some T-Wolves, we'll talk some Twins, and then we'll get out of here for Saturday afternoon. Precision Risk Management. Let me open up my sheet here. Crop assistance from the local pros. Call David today to ensure your farm's future. David Squires, man, a fantastic sponsor of everything we do here in Salz Media. He was a huge part of the basketball season as well. And next year we'll do the same, man. So thank you, David, for being a part of this. Shorty's Hotbox food truck. Big or small, Shorty's Hotbox can serve a group from their food truck, or they love attending festivals and fairs. Contact Kim for a customized quote. Amazing customer service with great food that serves super fast. Kim and friends are busy today. They have 2 trucks in downtown Brookings. One's outside the Wild Hare, one's outside of Skinner's. They'll be serving graduates and families of graduates all night long. It's a big night for Kim and her Shorty's Hotbox food truck. They've got a truck and basically a trailer that's been converted into another Shorty's Hotbox venue, I guess you want to call it that, vehicle. So Kim's doing great work. She's got big news coming up through the summer as she's opening up her own bar restaurant. And as soon as she gets me more info, I'll give you more info. But Shorty's Hotbox, Kim, Doc, and Nelson, it's just a fun sponsorship right there. It's my son's mother. So she was more than willing to try to see me try to succeed at this. So she's helping out. And we get to help her out as well. So if you're hungry in downtown, Shorty's Hotbox tonight. They'll be outside the Wild Hare. They'll be outside Skinner's all night long, starting, I think, at 4 o'clock, so shortly around the corner here. But Kim's a great sponsor, and she's more than happy to be a part of these. Another sponsor that we're going to thank right now, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, man. Ann Park, another fantastic friend of mine, a fantastic owner, a fantastic business owner. Tropical Smoothie Cafe, they're right on 6th Street, right across from Brookings Aquatic Center. She was a sponsor of the player of the game through volleyball, through basketball. So every player of the game through those events got a gift certificate for a free smoothie, and it went over very well, and we'll try to do that again next year. Just thank you, Ann, for being a sponsor of these and helping out as much as you do. You're a great friend. You're my old boss from the Pavilion Bar and Grill days back when I was in college, and still, Ann Park, a good friend of mine. So thank you, Ann, for helping out with this. Other sponsors we're going to thank before I get into the Twins and the T-Wolves, because that'll be quick, fast, and furious. Back Alley Meats, softball sponsor. You can see their logo splashing on the screen there. Back Alley Meats, man, right here in downtown Volga, about 2 blocks from here, maybe something like that. They're right over there on the other side of those homes right there. Unbelievable, man. Steaks, burger, brats, everything you need as far as backyard grilling, as far as a catering event or a party that you're going to and want to bring some food. Great stuff. Try the jerky chips. They are unbelievable. So Dan and friends at Back Alley Meats, man, doing a great job in there and being a proud sponsor. Sioux Valley Athletics and the Salz Media Broadcast, thank you to being a part of this. Thanks for sponsoring. Thanks for helping. Thanks for supporting. I don't know where that tractor is going over there. I don't know. They're playing with some dirt over there. And if you can hear a tractor probably in the background, I just don't know where they're going. Hopefully they're not coming in behind me. So we'll see what happens with that. We're going to thank some more sponsors once we get done yapping. Those Twins, I tell you, we'll end up with the T-Wolves. We'll give T-Wolves the final say, I guess, if you want to. But the Twins finally playing baseball like we hoped they would. 19-20 on their season now because they took out the San Francisco Giants last night. 6 wins in a row, matching their longest win streak from, I believe, last year. And that's going to be in this story, I'm pretty sure. They haven't won 6 in a row since last June is what I was told. There we go. Let me get into that. Let's bring up the recap. Chris Paddock, he was the pitcher for the Twins last night, putting a strong performance together. He was perfect through 5 and took that in the 6th inning, and then a couple of hits here and there, but pitched well. He took a 3-hitter into the 8th inning before he was finally taken out as the Twins beat the Giants 3-1 Friday night for their 6th straight victory. Paddock has had injury plague season since he has been a Twin, so it's good to see him be as sharp as he was. His first win since June 10th of last year, so congrats, Paddock. Pitching great. Buxton was the star. He reached base 3 times. He hit the first pitch from the Giants starter off the wall and had a triple, and then scored on a single by Trevor Larnach. But Buxton finally hitting like we think he should be hitting. The Twins matched their longest win streak since 6 straight from last June. That was the 12th to the 18th. So, it's been a year and some struggles. Obviously, if you're a Twins fan, you know what August and September looked like last year. You know the struggles that they're having with their owners trying to put a roster together, which is frustrating and is all hell every damn day. But there is talent on this baseball team. And this might be the last year where we see this talent unless something else happens of this in ownership. Someone buy the franchise, for God's sakes, and just put money into that lineup. When you think about the Dodgers, the Mets, the Cubs, the Red Sox, the Yankees, they don't win everything every year, but they're always competitive every year. The Dodgers, especially right now, with Shohei Ohtani and all the other players they have on that roster, I don't even know how they're able to do it, but that's baseball. You don't have to do it the way the Twins are doing it. If owners want to throw money at a roster, they can. The Yankees do it all the time. The Dodgers are doing it right now. The Cardinals have spent money in the past. The Boston Red Sox have done it. If you spend money on rosters, it wins games. And hopefully That'll propel you into the postseason and get you a ring at the same time. Doesn't always work. Just ask the Atlanta Braves for as much talent and money as they've thrown at things. I mean, they do have titles, but didn't they have like 15 years in a row where they won their division and then just only got the one series ring out of all those times? So with Maddox and Glavine and Smoltz and the rest of those guys, Chipper Jones. I mean, it doesn't always work, but they were always in the playoffs, and a lot of those times they were in the World Series. Here's our Twins. It took them 20 years to win a playoff series. And as soon as they did win that playoff series, that's when the ownership goes, uh-oh, we don't have any money. Let's cut the payroll. What? No, that's not. Damn it. No, don't do that. So please, someone who has $1.5 billion, which is what the Twins are for sale for, get out there, buy my Twins, keep the product on the field, and keep it rolling. That's my rant on the Minnesota Twins. Those Twins are playing today. Let me get back into their schedule. Twins today. The Giants are still in town, so game 2 of the Giants series, 6:15. They're on Fox tonight. So the Twins, nationally televised on Fox at 6:15. T-Wolves next up in our rants and raves. They are on national TV in Game 3. They're on ABC tonight. Hi there. So, before we get into T-Wolves, rants, and raves, we're going to find the last list of sponsors here. Nick's Hamburgers, fantastic spot in downtown Brookings. Buy 'em by the bag, a tradition downtown Brookings for over 100 years. Thank you, Nick's, for being a sponsor of everything we do here at Salzy Media. Jimmy John's, who also threw some gift certificates together for the softball team. We took those up to Clear Lake, and the dual doubleheader that was up there, we had 2 gift cards from Jimmy John's. So we're going to do that again, Aaron. With the limited games that we have left, let's throw some sandwiches at the girls. Player of the game will get those as well. So I'll talk to Aaron at Jimmy John's, the Freaky Fat Sub Shop on 6th Street, right in Brookings. The Man Cave Barbershop, Alicia and Friends, right on South Madera, across from Brookings High School. Fantastic barbershop, my barbershop. They are also the unofficial SDSU football team haircutters. Alicia and Friends will take care of you there. A fantastic barbershop, just a great spot. Alicia's a good friend of mine as well. And a proud sponsor of everything we do here on Salzy Media and, all these Sioux Valley broadcasts. I know there's another behind me, but... and then 2 newbies. 2 newbies for the softball season, and this is a big deal because softball season kind of opens up what we want to do for football, volleyball, basketball once we get in the school year next year. Midland Contracting, a fantastic construction spot right over there, actually, right behind Casey's down there on the main drag going through Volga here. A fantastic business, and they've always been a fantastic sponsor of Sioux Valley Athletics, and this is just another avenue that they were happy to be with. So thank you, Midland Contracting, for being a sponsor of these and being a part of these broadcasts and podcasts and everything else we're doing on Salzy Media. And the other one is Great Plains Ear and Hearing. Now, this is a fantastic dude. Jim Schultz, downtown Brookings. He's right across the street from Robin Jensen's office with Ameriprise. This is my mom's hearing aid guy, and just a fantastic conversation every time we go in there. He's a big sports buff. He's a big golfer as well, and was more than happy to be a part of the Sioux Valley broadcast. So thank you to Jim Schultz and Great Plains Ear and Hearing for being a part of these, man, and we'll continue to do so. Whatever part you want to be in part of football and volleyball in the fall, basketball in the wintertime, we'll make Jim Schultz another sponsor of everything we do here on Salzy Media next season as well. So thank you. All of the sponsors that are part of these, you can still see those sponsorships scrolling through on your screen right there. Just unbelievable what we've been able to pull off. I keep saying we. It is we. It's not just, I'm doing the hosting and the producing and the engineering and the equipment, but really the stars of the show are on every broadcast. And yesterday it was the Sioux Valley softball team that were the stars. So it's we in that sense. How's that? We're going to end this with some T-Wolves talk. Those T-Wolves finally hit some 3-pointers in Game 2 against the Warriors, and it showed. They are taking advantage of the fact that Steph Curry is hurt. And you don't want to win in that sense. You win any way you can, and you want to beat the best at their best. But look, man, if he's got a hamstring and doesn't let him go, take advantage of that and put it to him. They should really win the next 3 in a row. It doesn't sound like Steph is going to be back anytime soon. He's going to reevaluate it for Wednesday. So there's tonight's game. Then there's game 4 after that. It should be 3-1 before he gets reevaluated. And even if he does come back in that limited time space, it's a hamstring injury, and it's tough to come back from, especially in the a span of 7 days of what he'd be doing, 8 days. He won't be 100% even if he does come back. So the T-Wolves, being as good as they are and as prolific at shooting threes as they've been through the season, not in the playoffs, just shoot regular from three-point land. When they closed out the Lakers, they missed 40 three-pointers as a team and still closed out the Lakers in that Game 5. If they just shoot normal from 3, they're going to be just fine and take care of this Warriors team that is deep. They've been playing everybody in that roster, but talent-wise, it's Steph who's hurt. They've got Jimmy Butler who just doesn't seem to want to step into that role and be the star. With Steph not in there, it seems like Jimmy Butler should be the guy that should be scoring more, and he's just not, which, the Warriors will figure that out. Maybe tonight's game will be a different story as they go to San Francisco for Game 3. Draymond Green is Draymond Green. He's talented. He's one of the best players in the league. He's just kind of a pain in the butt. And if you can get into his head, you can really affect how he plays, and that just seems to be the way he is. But he can shoot it from the outside. He can do dirty work in the paint. He can rebound. He can defend. He does like to slap around and punch around a little bit, push around. That's just Green's game, man. So once you get through those, you get into names that you just don't hear very often. So they've got 3 really good players in that roster, and if you take one of those out of there, someone has to step up and do things. And they do have some talent on that bench, just not names that you're used to saying or used to hearing. But they do have some talent out there. It's just that the T-Wolves, to me, roster to roster, the T-Wolves are just better. They're just better, deeper, with better shooters all around. It seems like the T-Wolves can go 7 deep on their bench and not miss out on a lot, whereas they're playing a team now that can really only go, 3 starters that can really go off on you, and then there's 2 other starters that have just been interchangeable. I think they just started a center that had not started all year. The Lakers just did that in the first series, where they started a center that had never seen the court the whole season. It's just strange to me, but that's what the T-Wolves are dealing with. T-Wolves tonight on ABC, 7:30 tonight, our time. That's Game 3, live from San Francisco. Dodgers beat my Diamondbacks last night. Shohei Ohtani had a huge night. Let me do that. We'll close it up with a Shohei Ohtani talk. Well, it's arguable, but I'm going to say it. He's the best baseball player ever, pitching and hitting, and he's just incredible. He has a 3-run homer in the 9th to cap the Dodgers' wild comeback. I believe they scored 6 runs in the 9th inning last night to come all the way back and beat the Diamondbacks. Shohei Ohtani hit a 3-run jack to cap the 6-run 9th inning as the Dodgers rallied for a 14-11 wild victory over Arizona. That was in Phoenix as well, so the Diamondbacks getting beat on their home turf with the Dodgers scoring 6 in the 9th inning. Just absolutely insane. But Shohei Ohtani, who doubled twice, fell into a 1-2 hole in that at-bat and then launched his 12th home run into the pool deck in right to put the Dodgers up 14-11. He finished with 4 RBI last night. So Shohei Ohtani doing Shohei things. That man's incredible. And he really doesn't have to pitch anymore. He's fresh off of Tommy John surgery in his elbow. So he doesn't need to pitch anymore. He can just be a hitter and still make his, $750 million salary for the next 10 years. A lot of it is deferred down the road. And that's how the Dodgers can do it. They can keep signing guys and push that money down the road. Twins, I guess they don't have that option. Or at least the Pohlads don't want to do that. It's getting old. That's going to do it for Saturday. It is just past 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. I want to thank you all once again for following along, for being a part of the Salz Media broadcast. Next time that I have a game in front of me, it is going to be a week from Monday on the 19th of May. We'll be right here as the Baltic Bulldogs come to town. And that should be a lot of fun. Until then, there'll be a coaches show. We'll do that Wednesday from the Commons area in the high school, Wednesday at 3 o'clock. I'll try to get that on social media as well and let you guys know what's going on with that. But coaches show, and then we'll wait till Monday before the next athletic event is on the screen. So that's going to do it for Saturday. Happy SDSU graduation if you have anyone out there. And I guess I'll see you next Wednesday at the coaches show. So have a good weekend, everybody. The weather's gorgeous out here.